This is my review on Ultimate Spider-Man show. Has all four seasons I'm reviewing. The four season run of all four seasons of Ultimate Spider-Man. I give all four seasons of 10 out of 10. This is my favorite adaptation of Peter Parker's Spider-Man out of live action and cartoon that I've seen so far. And this is so this is why I'm definitely want to review this, because this is my favorite adaptation of Spider-Man. Played by Drake Bell, and he's really good at he has a lot of energy in the role. He really knows how to make Spider-Man funny. When he and also plays him as also plays him like, I will say, I wish this had more episodes of a series, lasted for longer. I wish just a little bit, because I really like this show. And I like how it just introduced the multiverse in the later seasons. And also shows Peter teaming up with Miles Morales. And one episode, in a few episodes, later in the series, he teams up with, he makes a team of different spider people, and he calls it the Spider Warriors, I believe, is the team, or Spider Society, or one of those things. I believe it's called Spider Warriors. Peter calls it the Spider Warriors, name of the team. Played by Drake Bell. And I like how, I do like all the voice acting and the characters in this in the show. Especially Spider-Man. Spider-Man has never been this more, Spider-Man has never had this much, has never had a better voice actor to play him. And I think I like him even more than Gary Lowenathal's Spider-Man. Even. And also Spectacular Spider-Man from Spectacular Spider-Man voice. When I hear his voice, it's just simply iconic. Like, he sounds like he sounds like the annoying goofball that I love to read from the comics. Whenever he puts on that tights and calls himself Spider-Man. And that's why I really like his performance as Spider-Man. Is that he never he knows that Spider-Man is the type of hero that doesn't shut up. And I like how in the show he even annoys his own team that he doesn't, and his team and allies and his friends around him, when he doesn't, like, the fact that he's they know that he's not right in the head and doesn't shut up. And I like how the team and everyone else, all the heroes and villains, kind of find that annoying about him. in the series that pretty much everyone finds him annoying. And I like that they nailed that aspect of the character down to a T. I mean, to a thumbs up, to a T, to a top. Uh, and I love how episode 1 introduces him in season 1 as a clueless rookie who hasn't been Spider-Man for a while. Who's been Spider-Man for a while, but not for a long time. Still in his clueless rookie years. Which is why Nick Fury from S.H.I.E.L.D. in the series wants to train to become a better version of himself, a better Spider-Man. And he knows who Peter Parker is, and that he's Peter Parker about his secret identity and everything, and why he's about his Uncle Ben. And Nick Fury, I like how Nick Fury gives him saying he did. I like how Nick Fury. I like that. I like that how smart this Nick Fury is, and that like Spider-Man actually turns down the offer. And to realize he may have a bit more to learn. Once he finds out he finds out of a tracker on its clothes that one of the goons put on a tracker on him, so that's how they followed him to schools, and now he has to seal and save the day of Spider-Man. And then after that is done, he goes to take Fury up on his offer. And that's what the whole series is. And then after that episode ends, we meet his team. Now, I will say I do like how his team, he has a different team and the earlier seasons than he does later in the seasons. Before he, so I noticed he has like 2 different teams he has had in the series. I think he had this old team in the first 2 seasons or the first 3 seasons, but in last season he had the Spider Warriors team up with them more often than this team that he joined in the earlier season. And I like how this series does a good job making clear that Spider-Man is not the only hero in the world, and this does also a good job making it some changes to the source material, but I didn't mind the changes. I didn't mind that these changes because they just told some such cool comic book epic stories. And I really like these stories, like how they told this. I like how they told so many these big epic stories in 4 seasons. Like I wish Carnage got used more often in this series though. Before he got And that's in like in a later episodes, but that's like a 3-part episode where the Carnage takes over the world. Yeah, they did a more of a kid-friendly version of Maximum Carnage for kids. Now, the plot of the episode is where Carnage takes over the world, and how Carnage takes over, he infects everyone with himself. After he, after Spider-Man thought he could blow it up and destroy Carnage, he just made it worse. he thought he could destroy Carnage by blowing it up, I guess, but that just made it worse because now it went all over the city of Manhattan. So, and that's the end of part 1, and then we see the aftermath of that where things has gone to chaos, and Spider-Man wakes up in the middle of the chaos after regaining conscious, after getting knocked out from somehow unexplained reason. But anyway, most of the Avengers have been infected by Carnage symbiote and now have become Carnage versions of Carnage of themselves. Even the Hulk. This leads to a bunch of this, all this bunch of commotion. The Carnagers are trying to get into this hospital and trying to get Peter's friend Harry they're trying to kill him. So it will affect him. Not really sure. So and Harry's in a coma because previous episode events. There's way too many content to me to cover all of the content of all 4 seasons in one episode of this series, with them not making this video too long, so I'm not going to do that. Now I'm going. Just going to. And I like all 3 parts of the Carnage episodes. I like how each episode builds on it builds on tension. And I like the final part 2 episode whereas Peter, after giving up his spy powers to save his Aunt May, so Doc Ock won't kill her, and so yeah, give up his spy powers. I like the fact that the fact that he goes to Norman Osborn, who by now has been cured of the Goblin. Has now been the Goblin, a Green Goblin, and at this point in the series, and no longer the Goblin, but has regained his memories and knows who Peter is. But he's going to help Peter anyway because he feels after regaining his memories from being the Goblin, he feels like he kind of owes Peter to keep his secret. So he has been when Peter's about to reveal his identity to Norman of who he is, and then Norman turns out Norman already regains his by then Norman's already regained his memories from being the Goblin and finding out who Peter is. and that Peter Spider-Man. And this happens during a fight this happened during a fight when early in the series when Peter meet up with Miles Miles for the first time from another universe when they introduced the multiverse, and the reason why Peter and Goblin's time hopping universe because Goblin's trying to kill every Spider-Man in the multiverse. And not just his Spider-Man. And Peter personally stepped up by teaming with other Spider people from the multiverse. And this when our Goblin finds out, he finds out at Peter's. He's looking at Peter's gravestone, and figure out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And this is the part where Peter Spider-Man died in this dimension, and Miles has taken over at this point, and Peter, the one of the main series, finds out that he's dead in this timeline. He's a little creeped out by that. And then all this big fight breaks out between the Goblin and Miles, Spider-Man, and Peter Parker, Spider-Man, working together to take down Goblin. And during that fight, that's when he finds out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Yeah, I like how in the final episode he got to use his old web shooters in action after he gets his powers back with the help with Norman, and finding out that the reason it wasn't just it was more the DNA part of something, his rare DNA that gave in this series of Spider-Man. It's explained by Norman looking at his the blood that gave him the blood, looking at his blood, and he figured out that it was more the DNA than the spider bite that gave him his powers. So there's something that he has like a rare DNA. There's something in his DNA that's rare. So basically he has to ingest this. He still has the old spider that bit him years ago. Norman has it still, and is still alive, and that spider did not die in this. That spider that bit Peter did not die in this timeline. So, he lets the spider bite him again. For some reason, it didn't work. He's still human and doesn't get his powers back. So that's when Norman took a little look at his blood, at the blood from his DNA, and basically figure out he has to adjust the doses. That's more common for his. I guess he has to do some tweaking to give before he actually has to inject him with the venom from the spike that will give him his powers back. So after doing some tweaking, it works. And Spider-Man's got his powers back and takes down the Sinister Six and kills Vulture and makes him human again. Yeah, by the way, in this timeline, Vulture is not a man in a costume or Well, he's just a kid that got mutated into a vulture form by Doc Ock and experimented on. But before that, he was just a kid that really looked up to Spider-Man. And Spider-Man actually cures him, makes him human again, and he seems to get his memories back. And so Vulture is human again, and now it's just like, and then in the final episode, later in the final episode, Doctor injects himself to mutate himself, but then he realized he's kind of losing all conscious to his new mutated form as Spider-Man to help him out and fix him. And Spider-Man does not deny him for help and saves Doc and makes him human again. And later, and then Doc comes to help Spider-Man out, help Spider-Man out to destroy his own to sabotage and destroy his own machine that he used to trap this team of heroes. So it'll be Spider-Man against our army in the final 2 episodes of Ultimate Spider-Man. And it was epic. Of the final 2 episodes, I thought. But so is the show. So is the whole show epic to me. I love this Spider-Man. This version of Spider-Man is awesome. I give this a 10 out of 10, this show. This is my favorite Spider-Man show I've ever seen. In my life, and my favorite adaptation of Spider-Man in my life, for live action and for cartoon for me. This is awesome. Of a show. Version of Spider-Man. I'm putting it up there with the spectacular Spider-Man show. And the new Spider-Man, the new animated series, starring Neil Patrick Harris as Spider-Man. I'm putting up there with that good old show. Too. And that's why I give Ultimate Spider-Man a 10 out of 10. I love this show. Okay. Like this video, hit the thumbs up, and then if you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe, then hit the bell. Hit both to subscribe. I guess this is in that order. And then, I think that's all I have to say. I'm a little dizzy, okay, after all this talk in this video, okay? Goodbye.